Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the CSGO News episode. Cheers to the good morning coffee, or good afternoon and good evening to all of you guys who are watching across the ocean. Welcome back to another episode. As always, all of today's stories will be timestamped down below. The hair is growing out. My goal, if you guys were curious, you guys probably don't even care about this. My goal is to actually try and break 20,000 subscribers, and then I'll be cutting this hair off, and then maybe we'll decide the next color of what this will be. But I hope you guys all had great weekends. Plenty of stuff happening for CSGO. Of course, ironically enough, it felt like the minute after we made our last episode about Smooya, of course he announced, or there was announcements and rumors out there about him potentially leaving that big roster or benching himself. They were confirmed, and alongside that, despite what we thought he would probably stay as a sixth man or probably even play for them at the major, that is not the case. So if you guys did miss that last week by some off chance, it will be Smooya, the announcement, guys. He has benched himself. He'll be next on that roster, standing back in as their fifth man as he returns from wrist injuries. And well, this past weekend we saw their first games back with Next in the lineup, and it was interesting to say the least. If you guys did not watch the WePlay tournament this past weekend, it was pretty iffy. Before we get into that, though, before we break down details for that tournament, which definitely gave us a lot of answers for many teams out there, we must discuss the current issue at hand, and that, of course, will we have Smooya stickers? If you guys do not know, of course, coaches do not get stickers. Now, it's apparently Smooya who might be actually joining Big's roster as their coach for the major, and he could be the first ever coach to technically get stickers, because if you guys remember, back in the day, it was actually for the Boston major. It was Stanislaw on Liquid, replaced by Steel shortly before the major. It was actually Stanislaw who got those stickers, and he didn't even play the major. So this could be, I believe, the second player of all time, Smooya, that being, to not play the major but still get stickers, and also technically the first coach, if he's on the roster as that, to also get them. I imagine the deadline had to be pretty soon, around the time he announced this, and if Smooya submitted his stickers and Next didn't have time to submit his stickers, then it will be Smooya getting stickers as Big's coach, and Next kind of getting screwed over. 200 IQ plays coming from Smooya. Obviously, he probably didn't mean to do that on purpose, but it might work out that way in his favor. So alongside that, though, of course, the tournament this past weekend, spoiler alert, it was overall an anticlimactic tournament, and again, the last event we'll see before the major, but it did answer a lot of questions. The first of which, if there is any team that I'm high hopes on right now, a team that is currently meshing right on time for the major, it has to be Vitality. They are now the significant French favorite team. Again, for the longest time there, for many months, it was LDLC, then it was G2, then it was Vitality for a bit. Vitality are now hanging on to that lead and expanding it, guys. They take the WePlay tournament this past weekend, and they do so very convincingly. They take down Optic. Again, probably no surprise there. We've seen some tremendous struggles from that Optic roster. This weekend, it was actually Refrez who was really struggling, but the entire roster did not look too coerced. Alongside that, though, they also take down HR, and I would say both these matchups, both sweeps in their best of threes, and they looked very convincing. And again, yes, of course, it was ZywOo who led the roster most of the way through, but it was the standout player, NBK, especially in that last best of three, guys, top fragging as well. The guy has been looking stellar. Alongside that, of course, he is shot calling majority of the sides out there and majority of the plays, and he has found his way back to fragging power. We've talked about him over the past probably 6 to 8 weeks, has been really bouncing back for this roster, and I am continually impressed by this guy, and this is a roster out there looking continually impressive. Alongside that, teams like Big, of course, with Next back in the roster. Next, I don't even know if you can argue against this, was their worst player. Yes, he's returning from injury. He's had some time off from the game itself, but this team, do I dare say it, they looked a shadow of their former selves. Now, I will say Tabson picking back up the op, of course, in place of Smooya, who was formerly their opper, did a pretty fair job for that roster, but it was not even near enough for these guys. Unfortunately enough, they do fall short in the event, and I would say I'm definitely worried about a couple of these rosters out there. HR and Big were certainly major upset teams. I would say sleeper teams of the previous major or in previous big events, and I don't think this time around they will be that kind of powerhouse they once were. So yeah, Vitality take down Optic, they take down HR, Big lose to HR, but a Big did manage to take down Team Spirit. It was actually a fairly close series in terms of score lines there, but unfortunately enough, eventually did fall short to HR. Optic just wasn't very present this weekend. So again, a lot of answers have been revealed to us for this upcoming major, and of course, this is the week before the major week. I am so excited. Predictions will be coming soon, and I will certainly take take this tournament into effect for that. But again, guys, now this French team, this being the Vitality roster, has won more events with ZywOo in the past 3 months than they have in the past 18 months without him. So pretty freaking crazy to see the rise they have made. But alongside that, other news out there, some pretty bad news for a few people, but it's not for Fnatic. It was actually a big announcement, kind of teased for a stream. We thought maybe a roster change to stir things up out there. It's actually JW and Krimz being re-signed to the roster for an entire 3 years. The overall big question is, though, will the curse continue? The curse I'm talking about, if you guys remember, it was about, I think, a year and a half ago, maybe a little over that, probably actually a while ago, Virtus.pro announced those 5-year-long contracts for that former 5-man roster we once knew as a legendary Virtus.pro roster. It did not work out. None of them made it the full 5 years. None of them, I believe, even made it the full 3 years of that 5-year contract. Then, of course, we had Stewie2K and Tarek. There were rumors out there that the MIBR contracts they signed were second to none besides Virtus.pro as the longest standing CSGO contracts. That clearly did not work out for them. So does the curse continue? Will JW and Krimz, here's the final question, you guys can answer down below, will they last the full 3 years with Fnatic? Will they break the long contract curse? I think they certainly have a chance. And also in closing news out there, it's actually North announcing their head coach for just over a year, that being Ave, will be stepping down. Pretty simple announcement because he now has a kid on the way this spring with his wife, so he'll be stepping away from the esport for the time being. Of course, a tumultuous last few months for this guy, kind of a rough way to go out, but he will be replaced by former Alternate Attacks, former Tricked Esports coach as well. That's Mither, otherwise known as Torbjorn. He will be stepping in his first time at this class, at this level of CS. I'm very excited to see because, of course, with his time with that German team and with Trick, they actually saw some decent success at Tier 2, Tier 3 events. I'm always excited to see a new fresh face in the coaching scene and how he actually does with this roster. Now, will he still be coaching the same roster, though, or will they make the desired changes many North fans out there do want to make is the final question. But also, very lastly, guys, in CSGO news, tomorrow, or for some of us, February 5th, will be Chinese New Year Day, which could ironically fall on a CSGO update day. So congratulations to our Perfect World players out there. Perfect World already celebrating their Chinese New Year by this picture as well over there. So pretty cool to see. Congratulations and Happy New Year to all of our Chinese player-based people out there. And I hope you are rewarded with some great stickers, which we should see either tomorrow or Thursday. We're crossing our fingers that they do not let us all down as many major stickers have in the past. But as always, welcome back to the show, guys. Let's have a great week. My name is Jake. I'll be back here tomorrow as we do approach slowly the major. I'm so excited for this, guys. It's the best time of year when we have majors in CSGO, and I'm excited to do predictions, do funny investment videos, and we'll see what other content we bring out on the channel. But as always, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Enjoy your coffee, enjoy your drinks, and bye.